College is becoming a luxury for many Americans, and the cost continues to skyrocket. We are seeing the average cost for tuition, supplies, and daily living expenses at around $38,000. Here in Tennessee, that number sits just around $32,000. But there is some good news for parents hoping to help their children afford college. Tomorrow is National 529 Day, and it's a time to explore the benefits of educational savings plans. Here to talk all about it is financial professional John Vandergriff from Blue Ridge Wealth Planners. First of all, thank you so much for being here with us.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'm glad we've got you here the day before 529 Day, so you can tell us more about it. First of all, just explain what a 529 plan is.
So 529 plan is probably the most popular way that people will save for college, where you put money into it, make contributions over time, and then if they're used for education expenses, that money will come out tax-free. Not only those contributions, but also the growth on that money that hopefully had many years to cook and accumulate.
All right, so the key there is getting started earlier, sooner rather than later.
Exactly. And I think with 529 plans, one of the recent developments that's happened over the last few years, because one of the reasons not to do them is people say, well, I don't know if my kid's going to go to college. And so as you look at that, you can transfer the beneficiary. So if you have multiple children, you can change it to one that does choose to use college. But they came up with a rule with the Secure Act that said if you have a 529 plan that's been in place for 15 years, you can use up to $35,000 of that, put it into a Roth IRA for the benefit of that person, and that gives them a tremendous jump on the process of saving for retirement for themselves personally.
Right, so you're not going to lose out on that money even if your child does choose to take a different path, maybe go to trade school or just jump right into the workforce. So 529 Day, it's sort of a play on the date, but what do you all hope people do on that day?
Well, I think raising awareness on the fact that, I know having little kids, you have so many things that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis that the last thing is the thing that may be 15 years away, which is, jumping into college or putting money toward that. And so what we know from investing, compounding is a benefit to you, and the earlier you can start, the more benefit time is to you, especially if you're adding time to risk is what the recipe is to get growth potential. So trying to get people to do that as early as possible. The other thing is raising awareness that parents or even grandparents can start that process as well, because with gifting rules, you can give any person today $19,000 a year, so anybody who wants to give,
yeah,
that's maybe a free encouragement, but as a grandparent, you can give a child $19,000, and I think Tennessee says as long as the lifetime contributions aren't $500,000, you can put in as much as you're able to. So for those that are wanting to do more, there are some ways around that, but just trying to raise awareness so people are able to get that process started and really make some traction there.
Yeah, this may be a dumb question, but I'm sure people at home are thinking this too. Whenever you start up one of the 529 savings plans, do you have to contribute a certain amount of money at the beginning and throughout?
No, it's very flexible. So, the probably minimum amount would be whatever it takes to put into a particular fund that you want to invest in. But when you set those up, it is flexible, like we said, where you can make recurring contributions, you make one-time contributions, you can make one and then 5 years later dump other money in. There are also ways that you can add just really large amounts of money in one time and stretch that out over 5 years. So there is a lot of flexibility, and getting as much information on that as you can is really important.
Right, a great option and a way to plan ahead even into the future, even when you have little kids like you were saying. But you all over at Blue Ridge, you have different opportunities for people to come and learn more about financial literacy and things that they can do to stretch their money. What sort of things you guys have coming up?
Yeah, the big thing to think about from a parent, and maybe a parent of college-age kids, is not to put yourself in a bind financially, because the worse off you are, you may come back around and become a burden to those children when they get there. So looking at your financial situation, getting as much education on retirement planning, estate planning, tax planning, which becomes very important, and then seeing what kind of avenues and flexibility you have to be able to make those contributions, or if you're a grandparent and you don't need all of the money that you've saved for retirement, very easy ways to make that transition over. And so finding one of our education classes, BlueRidgeWealth.com is the best place to go, whether it's classes on a particular topic or retirement planning in general. We're here to help people make good decisions, which is good.
And then just quickly before we go to, where can people find you all, not only online, but in real life? Where are your offices?
Yeah, so we've got our main office is off Pellissippi Parkway. If you go toward Oak Ridge, very first exit there. And then we've also got a downtown location as well. And then, you know, we have a YouTube channel where you can learn more. There's a lot of ways that you can find us. Just put us in the Google machine and you'll find plenty of information. So
I love that. You can find everything there. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today and teaching us about something that we may not have known about before. So